I'm back again. Sorry I haven't posted for a little while. Been really manic at work. Finished today really late. Aren't bothered. Absolutely knackered. Don't know. Feel like the strength's there to do a video and just explain a few bits and have a general waffle as I do. And hopefully bring some light to somebody's life along the way. Yeah, so I'd like to say first and foremost a big hello. Oh, whoa, darn. A big hello to Mark. He's followed some of my videos and came and said hello. He's joined up to Twitter as well, which I've done, and he's done really well in the past. And a little blip, so he's having another go. So let's all say hello to Mark and wish him well. I hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to, I was going to say about, and I've gone into it loads before anyway, highlighted by what Mark sent to me in private, but it's that talking to people thing again, isn't it? How important that is, you know, to get your point out, get that stress away, get talking to people. It's such a big thing. I mean, why do we sit in silence? Why do we sit there and you know just think we're alone when we're not? I mean, we're just frightened. You know, it's just a, you know, it's the addiction kicking in and saying you don't need anyone but me. I'm your comfort blanket. We'll go to the bookies. You know, you'll be all right. That's where you're safest. That's where you're most comfortable. And unfortunately, when we're stuck in addiction, that's exactly how we do feel. That's exactly how we feel. We feel that we're most at ease gambling. You know. Where the problem is, it's doing the most harm, isn't it? You know, we're not at ease at all. You know, if you've got to that point where you want to stop, then you know what you're doing is just causing you more and more pain, getting you further into the bloody hole. And it's such a sad thing that, you know, when it gets hold of us and just fucking ruins your life. It's every aspect of it. You just become an absolute fucking moron. I mean, you don't mean to. I mean, we're all good people deep down inside, aren't we? You know, we're not committing, you know, horrible crimes. I mean, the crimes that you probably, you know, if you have committed any crimes, they're bloody because of the gambling. Do you know what I mean? You want to feed the fucking habit. That's the problem. But other than that, strip that away and who we are. I mean, we're law-abiding citizens generally. We just want to live a normal life. That's it, isn't it? So I mean, I'm 3 years clear of gambling, and how my life has improved is no end. And I'm not going to sit here and say how fantastic it is for people, you know, that is still going through the earlier stages. But I'm here to say that day by day it will get better, and you really have. That's so important. You've got to take it day by day. There's no point thinking about, you know, a year's time, 6 months time, yeah, because that's just, you know, at this moment in time, if you're just thinking about stopping or just have stopped and you're trying to, you know, quit the gambling, then just concentrate on the now, on the moment, yeah. And you know, today I won't gamble. That's where you got to, you know, fixate your strength and your willpower. Because, you know, if you've got any long-term ambitions with this, then unfortunately you're likely to fail. Obviously, the key is that you've got to stop gambling. Don't get me wrong, and that's what you're looking to do. But small steps, yeah, very small steps. Get talking, get all that out in the open, so that takes it a bit of it off your shoulders, and then just literally take it day by day. I mean, let's try and put that in the perspective to something else. I mean, if you broke your bloody leg, you ain't going to be hopping about on it and running marathons the next day, are you? You're going to slowly get back into it until you're right. And it's no different with this, is it? You've just got to take it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, whatever suits you. But just, you know, I'm not going to gamble. I'm not going to have that gamble. And if you can survive today, you can survive tomorrow. And if you can survive tomorrow, you can survive the following day. Okay? And as soon as you know it, before you know it, you're up to a week. Then before you know it, you're up to 2 weeks. So really, that's what I mean. It's just long term, forget about it. You know, you've just got to concentrate on yourself and about feeling well. I've just arrived home, thank God. But I'm going to park up and carry this on. So give me 2 minutes to smash it in my parking space. Let's get in there before it. Easy. There we go. Oh, it's a bit dark here, isn't it? So let's turn that off. Yeah. So for me, it's you know, that's really important, that you just do little bits at a time. Okay. Don't do this big, you know, 5 years I'm going to be clean thing. Don't do you know, it in silence. Okay. It's important that you know, you get chatting to loved ones and people that care. I mean, you'll be amazed how much support they're going to give you. Okay. And the research and stuff. I mean, another book I recently picked up. Okay. And it's called Addiction and Recovery for Dummies. Okay. It's part of the Dummies series. And I would really recommend that to anybody that is struggling with gambling. Okay. There's not a huge amount in there about gambling. There is a bit, obviously. But definitely get that book. As an addiction thing, okay, and there's a wealth of stuff in there, okay, and it really talks you to forget about, you know, the gambling side of it. Just see it as the addiction, because that's what it is, okay, and you know, and it will guide you through the process, and you know, the things that happen in our brain and how we turn out and what's going on, and you know, loads of good stuff in there. And the Dummies books, I don't know if anybody's read one for other such things, but they're really, well, like I say, for dummies, you know, but we ain't dummies. But it's just broken down in the chunk size, you know, manageable chunk size pieces, and got loads of little snippets and do, you know, little tasks and stuff to do. So really good book. And you know, the problem is when you're in gambling, you don't have a lot of time for anything. You haven't got the patience and the you know, the attention span to really do anything, but you know you've got to. But then again, that's the gambling again, isn't it? You know, it's saying, you know, if you start picking up a book on you know, quitting gambling, the little monster's going to be fucking going mad, saying, you know, oh, taking your brain away, okay, and he's only doing that because you're bettering yourself, aren't you? And I put a little thing on Twitter the other day that, you know, the little monster will only survive if you feed him. The minute you stop feeding him, sooner or later he won't have the strength to bother you anymore, you know, and that's so true. So you've just got to, you know, day by day stop feeding him, okay, and eventually, he's a stubborn bastard, don't get me wrong, but eventually it will get to the point where he ain't got the strength to really, you know, bother you at all, you know, and that's when life starts becoming a little bit better. Yeah, so it's a little bit, you know, you're going to start enjoying things again. And you know, it took me a long time. I play the guitar, I love sport, you know what I mean. I used to play a lot of snooker, misspent youth again, in it. That's where I started playing the bloody slots, really, and you know, the fruit machines in there. What else? Golf, you know, footy and stuff. A lot of interest. Music in general, massive music nut. You know, never been a film person really. I definitely ain't got the attention for a film, but I mean, I will watch them. So, I mean, I found when I was in the addiction of gambling that I had no time for none of this. None of it interested me. I mean, all I was fixated on was gambling. It just engulfed my life. And if I didn't have money to gamble, all I was thinking about is where can I get money to gamble? And it's a fucking horrible life, isn't it? You know. And I'm sure you've been there and you're doing it, and you know you're proper grouchy, grumpy. You know, it's like coming off the bloody fags, which I'm doing really well with, by the way. Still on this fucking great thing. Um, but yeah, you know, you're just one track mind. You know, your family, you can't be asked. You can't be asked to do fuck all. You know, if you're going to work and stuff, you're only going to work to, you know, feed your rabbit, ain't you? Um, and that's the sad thing, isn't it? You know, tell me if I'm wrong, but who out of anybody that's watching this video has never had this thought cross their mind, that you know at the end of the month you've just worked 30 days, you know, say you're getting paid weekly, okay, you've just worked 5 days for fuck all because you've just blown it all. If you work monthly, you know, get paid monthly, you've worked 20 days or whatever it be, 24 days for fuck all. You know, we've been there, and it's a horrible feeling to look back and think you've done all that hard graft, you know, been through the shit you have, working with people you don't want to work with, or fucking customers that are horrible, or, you know, for me as a Sparky, doing jobs that were fucking rock hard, you know, really hard jobs, and then I've gone and fluffed all the money, you know. That's where I was. That's where you might be, or you were, but that's a horrible feeling. But that will only get better when you roll over to gambling. Yeah, so you really have got to admit that you're defeated. You know, roll over, let it tickle your belly. You know, submiss. You know, that submission thing. You know, you got to submit to gambling, definitely, and just say, look, you've done me. You're a greater power than me, my friend. Fair play to you. You've done me. And then you can move on, can't you? Yeah. So, you know, it's like me with Roger Federer, isn't it? I'll probably have a couple of goes at swinging it. I ain't going to return a serve, am I? All right, mate, you're better than tennis than me. Yeah, fair play. I ain't going to play you again. Um, you know, and it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? You know, you ain't going to beat it. Might as well, you can have a go, but who's going to win? It ain't us, is it? You know, it ain't us. It's the gambling. The gambling is the better power. The gambling addiction is the greatest thing out there, and it rules you. It rules me. You know, I'm done. I can't gamble. No, I can't beat it. I've tried it in the past. It's no point. No point. And that's the Federer thing, isn't it? You know, I'm not going to keep turning up to play and thinking I'm going to beat him. Never going to beat him. So what's the point really? And it's not going to be enjoyable, is it? Because I'm not going to get a fucking serve back. Do you know what I mean? So it's the same with gambling. You know, I'm not. I think I get pleasure out of it, but I come away and I feel fucking terrible. And towards the end, when I was gambling, I felt terrible when I was fucking gambling. The minute I pushed the door open to the bookies, I felt fucking terrible. I knew I was doing wrong, but I just couldn't fucking stay out of the fucking thing. You know, going to the cash point and, you know, putting your number in. You know, you drive to the place, you get out of the car, and the whole process, you know it's all wrong. At any point, you could stop and say no and drive past that turning. Not get out of the car, fuck off. Not go to the cash point, not get your wallet out, not put your card in, not put your pen in, not put the amount, not take the money, not go to the fucking door, not sit down, put, you know what I mean? It's just, there's so many points you could break away, but that's how strong that addiction is. So it, for that submissive thing, you know, to submit, you know, that the gambling is stronger than you, is important, isn't it? You know, it's very important, that you're not going to beat it. you know, by putting money, but you can beat it by getting on with your life. Um, and again, it boils down to those important little things. So finances, okay, so finances, you know, get them palmed off somewhere if you can. If you can't, then you need to look into some ways that you can you know, protect your own money yourself. Okay, it's very hard to do it when you're not, you haven't got somebody that can take your money. Okay, but there are ways. Okay, so Monzo, it's a card I'm going to show you actually. Okay, so I'm not going to put it up too close because I'll my details, but it's a bright orange card, Monzo. Okay, so they give you a bank account, yeah, and it's like any other bank account, anywhere. You can do direct debit, standing orders, that kind of thing off of it. All the things that you can do, online app, send money to people, receive money. You know, it's a bank account as you know a bank account. Okay, no different than that. Where's Santander, whatever. Yeah. Difference is here on the app. You select no gambling transactions, right? Then it bars all your online transactions. Okay, for gambling. Go into the bookies, try and use it. No. Try and buy a lottery ticket with it in some places. It won't have it. Okay, so it's, you know, that is a good step, you know, to safeguarding your money. Obviously, if you want to turn it off, you've got to go through a bit of a process. These guys are mustard. They know if you've turned it on that you want to be protected from gambling. So they're not going to make it easy. Obviously, if you want it turned off, you could get it. But it's that, you know, there's a calling off period. They're going to ask you loads of questions. Do you want to go through that? You know, and this again comes down to the only person that's going to help you stop gambling is you. So you've got to be strong. You don't want to be bypassing these things. I mean, it's just, if you get to that point, there's nothing really, you know, going to be good enough. So there's got to be a little bit of you. If you really want to stop gambling, you're gonna have to help yourself, people. Okay. So GamStop as well. I mean, that's another thing. People look at bypassing GamStop and circumnavigating their system. I mean, if you're signed up to it, you've got to do your bit as well, haven't you? You know, don't start looking for stuff. I mean, at the minute, the UK GC, most of the sites registered with them are part of GamStop. So when you register at a casino, they oh, Jesus, that does everyone's head in. So when you register at a casino, online casino, you've got to put all your details in, so that sort of gubbins, yeah. And you're going to flag up that you're a member of GamStop. But I think, you know, by the end of this year, definitely they should be all on there. Every casino that's registered with the UK GC Gambling Commission should be on there. So that's going to be great news for everybody. I mean, at the minute it's bomb-proof. There's only a few little ones that have snuck through that ain't done it, but I mean, they wouldn't be worth betting with anyway because they're probably rogues. But yeah, so, you know, join up to that. Gam Care as well is a big one, and don't overlook Gamblers Anonymous. Okay, it's proven time and time again for, you know, millions and millions of people going through the anonymous, you know, help group, you know. So definitely give it a go. Okay, wasn't for me, but that's not saying it's not for you. And you know, I've got my strength from other places, like watching Andy was a big thing for me, and seeing his progress. Reading books was another big thing, and talking to people and telling them how shit I was, and the secret life that I had that no fucker knew. It gobsmacked people, and there's probably still people now that probably weren't that relevant in my life that don't know I had that problem. They might stumble across this. Maybe they're gambling addicts. Who knows? But you know, so that's you know, that's just part and parcel of it. It's a process that we've got into. Yeah, okay. So you weren't a gambler once. Now you've fallen victim to gambling, and you're right in the midst of it. So it's just rewinding that process, isn't it? You know, and that, you know, using it as a comfort thing. It's just no different to, you know, all the other addictions, smoking, you know, comfort eating or overeating or whatever. It's just a little rut that you've got into, um, and you need to fucking track back, you know, and find that person that was there before this shit come along. You know, I remember me personally, sort of definitely 17, maybe 16, I think I probably was, winning a jackpot on a social, in a social club that my old man was a member, and used to go down there with my mate when my old man went about. No fucking, I mean, it was a social club, nobody was there, you know, it was on its arse really, the club, long gone and closed now. But they didn't give a fuck whether I was playing it, do you know what I mean? There was no, you had to be 18 to play it, didn't you? But they didn't give a fuck. So anyway, I played it one night, and I mean, the jackpot was 75 quid, right? So I'm 16, so that's 24 years ago, and I won the jackpot, 75 quid. And I knew the owner of the, you know, whoever it was, the manager of the club, 'cause we were in there all the time. She didn't care whether I played it, so dished it out. 75 quid 24 years ago to a 16. I thought I was fucking minted. I thought it was never gonna, that was me set for life. So there you go. There's the little big win, and we can do it again. And I've got many examples through my sort of, from 16 to 20, I would say, where, you know, gambling's got me out the shit, and that's the problem, innit? So going up the snooker centre when I was about 18, 19, and all my mates were going out on a piss, right? And I didn't have a pot to piss in because I'd blown it all anyway. And I think I went up the club with about 20 quid, right? And that ain't enough when you're 18 to go on the lash, you know? And I remember going in there, and I thought, well, fuck it, they're all going out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to stay up there, have a pint or what have you, 10 Bensons, and I'll chuck the other tenner in the bloody fruity or what have you. Lo and behold, the club machines were 250 quid jackpot, and I won the jackpot out of one of them, and it was over the fucking moon. Do you know what I mean? It was like mega money. And then I fucking went on to the one next door to it and won that as well. I shit you not, it happened like that. I mean, it was only about 30, 40 quid. So lo and behold, next thing I'm sort of 460 quid up, and that was like, you know, mega money, mega fucking money, isn't it? Well, it is now, but it's just, then it was just, oh, I'm off. So that's it. My fucking mates are down the town already. I'm fucking legging it down there at 100 miles an hour to meet them, and I'm on the piss. And then I'm Jack the Loudler, you know what I mean? So I'm buying all the drinks thinking I'm fucking minted, but fucking, the grand I fucking blew, wages or whatever, do you know what I mean? It's like, I should have been like, well, I fucking saved it. I must have done 200 quid that night. You know, absolute prick, you know, with money. Had no sense of money. And that's what gambling does to you. I didn't have a sense, I was very immature with my money back then. And I was immature up until 3 years ago with my money. I had no sense of money. I just earned it, and I either had money or I didn't. Most of the time I didn't. But what the process that started helping me to realise that I needed to stop gambling was that obviously I needed to keep a roof over my head, because everybody that had bailed me out and helped me were not going to help anymore. And that was a really fucking big culture shock for me, to think that that's it. If I fuck up now, it's game over. I am going to be in a hostel or a night shelter or something like that. And from there to now, mean, is worlds apart, absolutely worlds apart. You know, it's like I earn a good living from being a sparky, you know, a really good living, but it wasn't a fucking great living when I was blowing it all. But thankfully, the living I do make is I've managed to, you know, 3 years is I'm okay. Do you know what I mean? But fortunately, that's because I'm in that job, you know. But regardless of that, regardless of what job, because it's all relative, isn't it? You know, regardless of what job you're in, you're living within that budget, aren't you? You know, so if you stop gambling, you'll notice that you know your money's going to build up. But the gambler in you always thinks it's not building up fast enough, um, and that's the danger. That's the trap that the fucking evil thing does, isn't it? Um, so yeah, so a little bit of waffling on and stuff, but I just wanted to, you know, just because I haven't really said a lot about my history of gambling and stuff, but it went on to sort of online slots, and it really did get out of hand, you know. Um, the sort of bookies didn't really do it for me, and that's that adrenaline buzz. You know, once you're addicted, you need more of it, don't you? It's a dependency and abuse thing, isn't it? Um, you abuse it, and then along comes dependency as well. Um, and I just wasn't satisfied with playing £2 a spin when I could be playing, you know, at the initial double that, and then double that, and then double that, you know, and just fucking stupid. I had an absolutely massive win on the online slots probably 5 years ago, I would have thought. Needless to say, I fucking blew the lot of it back again, and welcome to gambling, you know, or problem gambling. I didn't benefit from that big win at all. You know, it was a five-figure win, and it was a lot of money, and it done me no favours whatsoever. I mean, I couldn't tell you one fucking thing I bought with it. You know, I had all these crazy images in my head of, you know, buying a new motor and, you know, this and fucking that, and lo and behold, I bought fuck all with it. You know, all it done was fund my you know, next fucking, I don't even know, month of gambling. I think I fucking chuffed it all back in a month. Horrific, you know, absolutely horrific, brain dead. But that's what we do, isn't it? You know, it's fucking awful thinking back about it, but hey ho, you can't look back. And you know, I say it's horrific looking back at it, but I'm over it. There's fuck all I can do about it. It's done. You know, I had the win. Remember the win. Remember fluffing it all, but there's absolutely diddly squat I'm going to be able to do about getting it back, and I don't want it back. It's dirty money, in my opinion. It's you know, I didn't deserve that money. You know, I didn't deserve it because I'd lost that all that before it. Yeah, that was my own stupidity, really. And you just got to, you know, people say you grow out of these things. I don't think you do. You know, I'm always going to be a problem gambler, and you can never say never, can you? You know, but I'm just again rolling on, rolling on. And it does get easier, I promise you. I'm not saying it's fucking easy, um, but you know, 6 months, 12 months, you know, very, very crucial period in beating, you know, gambling or any addiction really. But once you pass, you know, your day, your 2 days, your week, your 2 weeks, then your month. I mean, you just little victories, but all the time you just, you know, it's going to be there. But the other thing is, you know, with the um, you know, sliding off the wagon and relapsing, okay, people see this as a massive failure. I did. I used to, you know, go periods, you know, several times I've done sort of like 2 3 months, and then I'd bottle it all, you know, and just build a little nest egg up and think, well, I can have a little bit out of that. It ain't going to work. Well, fuck me, haven't we all been there? And I've fucking done a lot, you know. So, but I used to take them very hard. The sort of times I was weak and you know, and fluffed it all. But we're not weak, are we? I mean, we're more. People say about, you know, you've got no willpower. Well, we're strong. Not we're not weak-willed. We're strong-willed, because you've got to be strong-willed to go and fucking blow all your money, haven't you? I am going to go and gamble, so that's strong-willed. That's not weak. Weak-willed's like, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do. No, twitchy, innit? Fucking strong-willed. I'm fucking going there, and I'm gonna take 300 quid with me. I'm in. Then you're fucking in there. That's strong-willed. So all this weak-willed shit is bollocks. Um, but yeah. So it's just fuck knows what I said there. So yeah, just stay strong, stay positive, get yourself some little milestones. Oh, the relapse thing, and don't be too hard on you. It's part of the recovery. If you go through recovery, one day you decide, say you've been gambling for 10 years, you say, right, I've really got to fucking stop this today, and you don't gamble for 10 years, fucking great. I mean, that is amazing. 99.9999999 ain't going to do that, okay? You're going to get to certain stages, something's going to fucking hit the fan, and this is fucking walks out, and something that, you know, whatever, you're going to hit it again, okay? And that is part of your recovery, okay? To learn something from that. What triggered you? You know, what was going on in my life why's that happening? Am I a bit stressed about something? What's going on at work? I'll tell you what it is. I had that letter the other, you know, try and piece it back to what's happened and learn from it. Yeah, that's the important thing, because the next time you go that period of time, and let's say hopefully you don't relapse, but if you do, there'd be differences to it. Obviously, what's happened is exactly the same. You've gone back to gambling, but the circumstances that led you to gamble this time will be different, because you've learned something from the last one. So hopefully you've avoided that, haven't you? In that period of time, you've gone, the first time I relapsed because I was a little bit stressed about the fucking state of the loft or the garden. But you've gone out and been productive. You've sorted the garden out. And you know what I mean? So that, hopefully, you've put the one side. So this time, something different's occurred, and you've got to address that. So you, over time, in these relapses, you're gonna build a pattern to what really causes you to gamble, won't you? Okay. I've always said, I said it probably in one of my second videos, or second or third video, that I've done a lot of time thinking about why I gamble. But I really do, and I know I've just said that, but I do think it's important that you don't channel too much energy on why you gamble. You know, that tapestry of, and the makeup of you to why you gamble. I don't think you can waste a lot of time there, okay? What is important is the triggers and the circumstances to why you gamble. That's not going to tell you about yourself, I don't think. It's just going to give you a bit of education, a bit of fucking insight into situations that you don't cope with very well, or you need to avoid in future, or you need to address straight away rather than let fester. So that's you know, that's something that you need to do, I guess. Anyway, I'm 34 minutes, typical me. I've absolutely waffled on, and apologies for that. But I hope everybody's well. Stay strong, day by day. And any questions, come and ask me. I hope this has been helpful, but do come and speak to me. I'd love to hear from you. Keep up the good work, Mark, and I'll speak to you all soon. So over and out. My name's Darren, and I'm a problem gambler. All the best.